is stick around. All I do now is stick around, dick around.
A show about Sparks. Before we get started, thank you listeners for your overwhelming responses. We had no idea we would get so much feedback. While we are proud of our content, we feel the audio was somewhat lacking. Based on your kind responses, we felt like we owed you an improvement in audio. So we invested in some gear. Hopefully this episode will sound better and future ones will sound better and better in the course of time. Welcome, Jenn.
Hi, nice to be here again, Ted.
Jenn from episode 1. And then we have your son, Lou.
Hi, I'm here today.
Lewis was referred to in the first episode multiple times, I think, so.
Yes,
yeah. It was required that
as a young Sparks fan.
That's right, much younger than me.
Lou.
Yeah, I guess that's right, depending on your definition of young.
You are indeed a young Sparks fan.
A youngin'?
Yes, but Sparks are killing it over in England, Europe. You're approaching, what, 15 years old?
Yeah, 15.
And, you know, there may be 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds over in Europe listening to Hippopotamus in my pool.
Wait, Lou, you were a fan when you were 8 years old, right?
Yeah,
Oh, hell.
Because you forced it on me.
We'll get into that. Yeah, let's talk about our different generations. Lou, when I was your age, I wouldn't have been caught dead listening to any of my dad's music. I mean, like, jazz.
Shush yourself, jazz is good.
Yuck.
Yeah, that may be a personal problem with you, though, Todd.
Oh,
personal
definitely.
problem.
I
Jazz
love
is good.
I
jazz
admit
music.
it. Yeah. I suck. So, I remember back in the day, I'm hanging out with a buddy and his pregnant wife, and we're listening to 311, and it's one of their heavier songs with expletives. Cut the bullshit, it's time to throw down, you know. So his wife says, you know, when our baby is growing up, he is not gonna listen to 311. And my friend says, of course, that will be his dad's music. He'll think 311 is lame. He's not going to listen to 311, and I wholeheartedly agreed with him, but it turns out that's not necessarily the case.
I think part of that has to do with the internet, because Lewis here can discover music that we listened to when we were young without us showing it to him. And so he's often saying, hey, I like this on Spotify in the car. Let's listen to this on the way to school. And I'm saying, oh, this was one of my favorite albums when I was 15. I mean, he'll turn on Nirvana or I don't know, there's multiple bands that he's put on that it's, Primus, you know, and these are bands that he may or may not have heard, you know, us listening to, when he was growing up, but he's definitely discovering them on his own. But if I think in the land of parents putting on their albums on the record player, and it was definitively your parents' music, then you associate that with that generation and then maybe have some disdain for it during your, pubescent years. But these days, kids can discover music without their parents or anyone else having to put on the album. I mean,
Yeah.
So.
Well, to be fair, the moment that you say that album you like and you like that band, I immediately delete it from my library.
No, you don't.
Are you sure about that?
Lou, did you know when you were 4, I got you a Clutch t-shirt for Christmas?
I think I remember that.
Yeah?
I vaguely remember that.
I think we can find some pictures.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And it also so happens, well, at that young, then you still think your parents are cool, right? But at that young, I think, well, it was probably when you were 5, Lou, that Clutch's Dragonfly was your favorite song, and you required that I put it on repeat every time we got in the car.
Well, that's
much
because
to
that's
Grandma's
the only thing
dismay.
that we can do. Grandma's opinion doesn't matter.
It's such a kind of douchey, I don't know, dick thing to do. Parents dressing their kids up in band t-shirts. You know?
I disagree. It was definitely better than the Spider-Man uniform he'd been wearing prior to that.
No, listen, the Spider-Man uniform was a choice.
That's true.
Nevertheless, I didn't expect Lou to like Clutch. You know, I had him wearing a Clutch shirt for, vanity on my sake.
It was like making a claim.
Yeah.
This is my girlfriend's song.
Yeah. And here we are 10 years later. Lou, do you like Clutch?
Yeah, Clutch is good.
that
like
just flies in the face of my experience with my dad.
Right. Yeah, but you're the odd one out, I think. Then again, it did.
Well,
yeah, and your dad didn't have bad taste in music, too, which is strange. I mean, some people's parents have terrible taste in music, but I love my dad's music. I can do without some of the 60s rock and 70s rock.
Well, your dad was rock.
But there's a lot of flower people stuff, too. But I loved Bob Dylan. The never-ending Joan Baez records would get a little old, but I still played all the songs, right, on the guitar. I mean, I still enjoyed them enough to learn the songs. So yeah, I think you're the odd one out, Ted.
Okay, well, let me try to make my argument. Yeah, me and my dad were divided musically. Movies, his favorite movies are my favorite movies, so there's no disconnect there. I'm trying to prove a point here.
Well, there's only 3 people here, and I'm her son. So, really, in this room, you're the odd one out. But overall, I'd say it's about maybe 50-50 split anyway.
I'm just saying there was such a thing as a generation gap.
I still think there's such a thing as a generation gap. I just don't think culture...
I think it has disappeared.
I don't know about that.
It's waning.
I think fear of technology is the generation gap and ability to use technology easily. So right now, that's something that I see in people I work with. So baby boomers retiring, my age, and then Lou's age. There's a distinct gap. I mean, obviously there's odd people out, but there's a distinct gap between technology, ease of use.
Grandma doesn't understand how to use her phone. That is the
I
generation
don't understand
gap.
how to use my phone.
Generation gap.
But still, we're listening to the same bands.
I mean, depending on where it is, generation gap is different.
8 years ago, I'm the biggest fan of Ghost. I don't mean to boast. Boast. I don't mean to boast, but out of the gate, I was a Ghost fan. The biggest west of the Mississippi.
Okay.
I was.
Okay.
You were there.
I was there.
Yeah. Okay.
I was there.
Lou was there.
I was there.
I was the biggest Ghost fan west of the Mississippi. I got Opus Eponymous the day it came out. I had to pay tons of cash to get the Ghost t-shirt because it had to be imported from Europe. I was a Ghost fan from the beginning. 8 years later, here's this guy, Lou.
Hi. I really like Ghost.
And he likes Ghost. There's no way that would have happened between me and my father. There is no way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess you make a point as it relates to your experience, but Ghost is a damn good band. So
I go to him. I go to Lou for information about Ghost. He has surpassed my fanship.
You go to me for all information.
Yeah, by leaps and bounds.
Yeah, I don't know if that's necessarily fanship, though. It's just that he's wired in the information age compared to you, which goes back to my point of there being a generation gap with the way we use technology. So he doesn't miss. He subscribes to every single thing that has to do with Ghost and doesn't miss it.
But if I didn't like Ghosts, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, but you do like Ghosts, so yeah. But what's funny to me in this case, coming back to Sparks, is that so Ghost is, we think, made up of relatively young human beings playing the instruments, right? Sparks had as many albums as Lou is old before he was even born.
Yes.
So the fact that Lou is a Sparks fan, and their first album came out long before he was even a twinkle, is interesting to me.
Sparks are making the chart in England right now. And let's say a 10-year-old is really digging Hippopotamus. There's a that would appeal to a 10-year-old, right?
Yeah,
there's
sort of like bouncy rhythms.
Yeah. And at the same time, I mean, the brothers Mel are in their 70s, right? And you've got to assume there's some Sparks fans around that are their age. How many years is it? That's just impossible. That's 60 years.
Yeah, that's what makes them special.
Good.
I mean, it helped that they did an album with Franz Ferdinand.
Yes.
Lewis listened to that on repeat nonstop for a long time. Yeah.
Yes.
It's a good album.
It's a great album.
It's a really good album.
And Sparks, we know that they made an impact in England in 74, this town, and then they came back in 79, 80 with their disco.
With
one.
Giorgio Moroder.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's when they collaborated with him, and that's when they got into their current style.
Yes. So, and then now, after teaming up with Franz Ferdinand, they are still enjoying success over there in Great Brittany.
Great Brittany.
Great Britannica. All this discussion about the generation gap and my thesis that it has disappeared, and I think Jen will back me up on this because of the internet. No?
Internet?
Well, yeah, that was my point.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I have that point in my notes before you even brought up that point.
I scooped you.
Woo. 5 steps ahead of the game.
Okay, so we are in the same household for 10 years. Not now, but we're all friends still.
We're in the same house right now.
And we, Jen and I are gaga for this band. We're the lunatics. And if that had been my parents when I was age 5 through 13, I would have been like, get the hell away from me. And yet you are a fan of Sparks.
It's good.
Yeah, I think back on when we were remodeling a condo we purchased, and I mean, it was every night after work, all day on the weekends, 16-hour days. And I think Seduction, I'm not sure how long Seduction had been out at that point, but I don't think it was too long. And we were listening to Seduction of Ingmar Bergman like as loud as we possibly could, yes, all day long. The English translation, not the non-translated version, whatever we were listening to. And Lewis was just, okay, using the hammer, having some pizza,
Crying up floorboards, writing stuff under the floorboards, putting the floorboards back down.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, I can't believe how much Sparks he was forced to listen to during his early years, the formative years.
A lot. More than reasonable for a human being.
Right, but now you listen to it on your own, so.
Yeah.
Because they're so good. We were right. See,
Which
parents can be right sometimes.
Lou, you are a smart boy, and I think you will author several books. And
could a publisher read my handwriting? That's my question.
Yeah.
May I suggest your first book is The Internet and the Disappearance of the Generation Gap.
I see why you wanted me here. I understand now.
Okay. Okay. Where was I gonna go with this? We are gonna take the most abrupt segue into trivia. So the trivia question was Rupert Holmes and Sparks. What is the connection? And Craig from somewhere.
Somewhere in Nebraska.
People, tell us where you're from. We would like to get a sense of the geography of the outreach of this podcast. Okay.
Craig from out there.
Craig from out in the ether. He answered that Rupert Holmes was the producer for introducing Sparks, their 7th album, 6th album, something, 5th, I don't know. Okay, so.
Congratulations, Craig.
Congratulations. Now take that $10 certificate and buy Kimono My House if you don't have it, because we will be reviewing that album on the next episode. Lou.
Hi. I'm here.
I'm afraid to ask this question. Have you ever seen Revenge of the Nerds?
No, I haven't.
Thank God.
He couldn't answer honestly if he had, because his mother is sitting next to him.
Help me, I'm being oppressed.
That movie is so wrong. Did you really not watch it?
I don't remember watching it.
Okay.
So I'm going to assume no.
Oh,
and I'm not going to say yes, even if I had.
Revenge of the Nerds. We're talking about non-consensual sex by deception, aka rape. I'm your stepfather, and I forbid you from watching this film.
The internet exists. You can't stop me.
I don't care if you're 79 years old. You may not watch this movie.
I mean, watching politics is the same thing, really.
What does this have to do with Sparks?
Oh, it's part of the trivia contest.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, Me Too. This movie isn't a horrible thing because of Me Too. It's a horrible thing the day it came out. It should have never seen the light of day. Okay, so the question is, well, the song, Are You Ready for the Sex Girls? The song performed by the Gleaming Spires. Gleaming Spires?
Yes.
Let's hear you say it.
Gleaming Spires.
Lou?
Gleaming Spires.
Okay. Matching the tone of the movie, Are You Ready for the Sex Girls? The Gleaming Spires. What is the connection to Sparks. Be the first to email us the connection.
And also tell us where you're from.
And also tell us where you're from. At dickinaroundsparks@gmail.com. And that is Dickin without a G. Dickin Around Sparks. Okay, so let's move on to Lou. What is your Sparks experience? Let's Kurosawa this BR.
All right. So,
wait, did I say that right?
What's Kurosawa?
I
don't know what that means.
Kurosawa.
I don't know what that means.
He made that movie where, like, it's from different perspectives, and we're going to lose perspective. Oh my God, I have totally lost everyone in the room. Okay. True Detective. That's from the frame point of different characters, right? Season 1. Okay.
I actually wouldn't say that.
I have lost everyone. Let's move on. Lou, what is your Sparks experience?
It began by it being forced upon me by you two at a young age. I wasn't disappointed in it. I wasn't, like, mad. But you definitely introduced me to Sparks by playing it a lot. Especially, as you said earlier, the seduction of Ingmar Bergman while we remodeled the condo.
Is that your earliest Sparks memory?
That's not the earliest. But, like, that's one of the most prominent.
Do you remember the paper mache Sparks character?
I remember.
'Cause that was earlier.
I remember that. That was when we were still at Grandma's basement.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember we had, like, the heads. Oh, man. Yeah.
We wanted to do a puppet show based on Don't Leave Me Alone with Her, which never came to fruition.
Yeah, but we had a bunch of paper mache heads.
Yeah.
Yeah. The puppets did dance to Sparks.
Yes.
For a little bit. Once, twice, maybe 3 times.
Maybe 3. Yeah, I remember when we made them and didn't do much with them because we could never actually get the puppet show, but we just had those heads sitting around Grandma's basement for a while.
Well, don't leave me alone with her. Every of Rome with her. Okay, so you are getting Sparks thrusted upon you, and
Don't phrase it like that. Actually, I phrased it worse, so. But, yeah, so you guys, I just remember that you guys, like, just played a lot of Sparks, like, in the car, just in the house, just really just wherever you could play it, and you would play it on repeat a lot. I remember a lot of Strange Animals from the Deep.
yes,
Exotic Creatures from the Deep.
Yeah.
Exotic Creatures. I mixed up the song.
Yeah. Strange Animals is on that album.
Strange Animals is on the Exotic Creatures album.
Yeah.
That's a weird
good
thing.
song.
It's a good song.
Here's the thing, little Beethoven wasn't much on my rotation. Jenn, not so much.
Nope.
And
I like Little Beethoven.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite Sparks albums.
yes,
Yeah, I've been listening to that one a lot lately in my car with my son's Bluetooth.
yes.
Taking
I'm the
control.
captain now.
And here you are emerging. You know, I had no idea that I had no illusions that you would like something that I liked, and you can sing Suburban Homeboy. You know the whole song. You're totally down with it. I just again amazing my brain, my feeble brain.
Yeah, I think
You're
it's interesting
old.
though. So your favorite albums are different than mine and Ted's though, right?
Yeah. I mean, I like I like the same ones as you guys, but I like Little Beethoven more. That's definitely one of my favorite ones. And I also really like Plagiarism as well.
Oh. Yeah, that's a great album.
I love Plagiarism.
Yeah.
That's cool because they're covering territory that Jenn and I like. Yeah. Yeah. And then FFS.
Oh, yeah. FFS is... I love that.
Okay, so let's wrap things up. Please like our video in YouTube.
Please like, comment, and subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Is that what YouTubers say?
That is incorrect.
Gone crazy.
Speak and spell. Okay.
You're so sweet. No, at the end of all lose YouTube videos, they say like, comment, subscribe.
Every single
like,
one.
comment, subscribe.
Look up the YouTube economy. It's horrible. That's not a Sparks podcast thing, though.
Like, comment, comment. Comment?
Comment.
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 Comment. Subscribe.
Click, commit, subscribe.
Okay.
Now, at the beginning of this podcast, you were the one saying, keep it PG, Ted.
Okay.
Don't cut it out. Don't cut it out.
All right. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Oh, and share this little thing we do with everyone you know. Times infinity.
Times infinity.
Love ya. Bye.
Bye.